Live, local, late breaking. This is WMBF News at 11.
Good evening to you. We're glad you're with us at 11 o'clock. I'm Eric Weisfeld. New at 11, we've learned a 3-year-old hurt in a Conway shooting has died from her injuries. The Horry County Coroner's Office identified that child as Bailey Simmons. They say the child's mother, Tasjanique Graham, was also killed in the shooting. Conway police say it happened around 7:30 Monday night on Suggs Street. Officers are still searching for a suspect in the case. They urge anyone with information to give police a call. Coroner's office says autopsies for the 2 victims are scheduled for this week. Well, right now, Conway police are asking you to avoid part of Highway 544. Beach-bound lanes are closed for a crash involving a motorcycle and a car. Police say there are injuries. Horry County Schools wants to set the record straight about rumors circulating online about an alleged special meeting tomorrow night. WMBF News reporter Jennifer Roberts spoke with the board chairman today about that rumor. So, Jennifer, where is all this confusion stemming from?
Eric, Chairman Ken Richardson says rumors about meetings and changes with the hybrid learning program started spreading after Monday night's meeting. And the confusion, Richardson says, could be connected to an announcement the board made that involves DHEC.
I got contacted by several people.
Some say a rumor can spread faster than the truth. According to Richardson, chatter about a special board meeting Thursday is just that, a fast-moving rumor, further stating that information is 100% false.
There is no meeting scheduled. I set the agenda and I set the meetings.
Richardson says several people were told the board would be meeting Thursday night to consider going from hybrid learning to face-to-face instruction 5 days a week. In an effort to clear up that confusion, Richardson posted this message today on Facebook, stating that rumor is simply not true. During Monday's board meeting, the district announced DHEC changed its schedule for releasing its disease activity report from Mondays to Thursdays.
This was a bit of a surprise for the day, but it's okay.
DHEC's report outlines how soon the district can start face-to-face learning based on the virus spread level. Richardson says DHEC's change in day and discussions about the classrooms may have contributed to the rumor mill.
That got confusing because we had to go back online and say that we would be releasing the numbers on Thursday instead of on Monday. I think that's where some people got confused that we were going to try to call a meeting and possibly put the children back in school.
Richardson says he relates to parents who wanted the 5 days of face-to-face instruction rumor to be true.
I would like to take my school board chairman hat off and put on my grandfather hat. I have 2 grandsons that are in the Horry County schools. I'm just like everybody else out there. I'm concerned about what's going on with them, their education. But when I put my chairman's hat back on, now I'm back up. I've got 45,000 kids I have to be concerned with. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm to the point, I'm ready for the children to go back to school. My only thing is I want to do it the safest way I can.
Richardson says they will base their decision, the board, on how soon students can return back to the classrooms 5 days a week for face-to-face instruction on DHEC's disease activity report. In order for Horry County schools to even make that consideration and to have that option on the table 5 days a week, Richardson says that DHEC must determine that Horry County is at a low-level spread level for the virus. Right now, it's at medium spread. Live in Horry County, I'm Jennifer Roberts, WMBF News.
Well, clear, cool, and moonlit skies here on this Wednesday night. Looking out over the Atlantic Ocean, you can see the full moon there glistening on the waves, breaking on shore, and doing so with temperatures already comfortably down into the 60s. We're going to be heading to bed here over the next little bit. Yeah, open those windows, turn the AC off. Notice those temperatures down into the 50s here for the beaches by tomorrow morning. 57 in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, 56 for Conway as well as Loris. 56 in Marion. Florence will take you down to 55 tomorrow morning. And then back into the 70s we go for tomorrow. A couple degrees warmer than today. Plenty of sunshine, upper 70s, but staying just shy of that 80-degree mark. But there's yet another cold front that will be working its way through as we head through the rest of the week, giving us a pleasant fall forecast. I'll let you know what that means for our weekend temperatures, and also now 2 areas we're watching in the tropics. All that coming up in a few minutes.
The future of a PD school district hangs in the balance tonight. Still no decision on just what to do with Florence School District 4. A second virtual meeting in Timmonsville included community members, but in the end, resulted in no decision. WMBF News reporter Cameron Crowe is live in Timminsville tonight to recap the online gathering and to explain why the state superintendent says she no longer wants to kick the can down the road. Tell us more, Cameron.
Yeah, Eric, many community members are concerned about the potential consolidation of Florence School District 4 and Florence School District 1, along with the possible closure of Timminsville High School. Tonight, during a virtual meeting, State Superintendent Molly Spearman answered questions and concerns about the future of Florence 4.
We have been kicking this can down the road because leaders were scared to talk about it. I did not run for this office just to kick cans down the road. I ran to try and do what I could while I'm in office to make the system better for students in South Carolina.
Despite the progress Florence 4 has made in recent years, Spearman says the district is still struggling to make ends meet. She says school funding is based on the number of students in the district. And Florence 4 has only 663 total students, making it one of the smallest districts in the state. Spearman says they've reduced their administrative staff, laid off teachers, and cut programs, and the district is still nowhere near its funding balance. While the entire district would be consolidated into Florence 1, there won't be changes to the elementary or middle school. But she says Timminsville High School is unsustainable.
It's almost impossible to keep it going with the size, with the taxes that are being paid now. Get it going. And that's why, and we have done everything we possibly can over the last 2 or 3 years to be prudent and be honest with you. The state has been propping it up.
Spearman says she's been asked about the possibility of Florence 1 taking over the high school.
Is it financially feasible for Florence 1 to keep a high school open with only 160 or 200 students in it when they've got the other high schools?
Spearman says while she understands the concerns parents have over the possible closure, she wants Timminsville High School students to have the same opportunities as students in other districts.
And the reality of how students need to find their personal pathway and start gaining those skills that they need while they're in high school, and school districts need to be able to offer that.
Spearman says they're still discussing options, and she'll take the concerns of parents and local leaders into consideration as they make decisions. A decision on the future of FSD4 is expected by December or early January. Reporting live in Timminsville, I'm Cameron Crowe, WMBF News.
Town of Surfside Beach now has a bit more time to complete its pier project. Mayor Bob Hellyer announcing FEMA granted the town's extension request. Last week, the interim town administrator told council members the project had to be complete by the October 10th deadline in order to receive $9 million from FEMA. Previously, they thought the project only had to start in order to receive that grant. Well, now the town has until June 30th of next year to complete the project. Hurricane Matthew destroyed the pier back in 2016. Earlier this month, town leaders awarded a construction contract to Consensus Construction. Hellyer says they hope to have the construction contract completed by next week. The lowest number of new coronavirus cases reported in South Carolina in more than a month. But that's only out of about 1,200 tests. The Department of Health and Environmental Control says the low number of tests is because of an issue with its electronic lab reporting and only reflects results sent through email or fax. Today, health officials announced nearly 200 more people tested positive for the virus. 10 new cases are in Horry County, 8 in Florence County. There is 1 new case in Georgetown County.
Well, he got up to check on the baby, and he found our son died.
Decades after a mother lost her child unexpectedly, she's pushing to make sure it doesn't happen to other children. What doctors want you to know about sudden infant death syndrome.
Now, the certified most accurate forecast from First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold.
Well, taking us through the rest of this Wednesday night into Thursday morning, clear, cool, and moonlit skies. Temperatures 57 here for the Grand Strand. We'll tack on 20 degrees for an afternoon temperature tomorrow of 77. And once again, another round of bright sunshine, just a couple degrees warmer than today. We're currently sort of in between 2 cold fronts. There's the big front that came through with the showers, the storms, and the gusty winds yesterday evening into last night. Notice it's well out over the Atlantic Ocean, and we're enjoying that quiet, tranquil fall weather behind that front. Well, it continues to drift off out over the ocean. We're just kind of quiet as we head towards daybreak on Thursday and through the day tomorrow. Nothing but sunshine, but notice that wind direction kind of out of the southwest. That helps to boost us up a little bit back into the upper 70s. But notice as we head towards late in the day tomorrow, we're starting to see another cold front. This one will bring a reinforcing shot of cool weather by the time we head towards Friday into the weekend. However, this one also comes through very quietly. No moisture to work with, so no clouds, no showers, no storms. Just a reinforcing shot of those cooler temperatures. And you can see that here with our temperature trend as we go from 77 tomorrow down to 72 on Friday. And we keep those low to mid 70s going all the way through the middle part of next week. And in addition to that, we also have those very comfortable nighttime temperatures holding steady into the 50s. Now, as we flip the calendar into October, still not done with hurricane season. In fact, 2 areas to watch now here in the Caribbean. Here's the first one. This is what we've been watching all week long. Still not quite ready to develop just yet, but as it works its way into the northern Caribbean, chances of development now up to 70%. And we're also throwing in a second system about to enter the eastern Caribbean. That one now with that 20% chance of development over the next 5 days. Your Myrtle Beach 7-day forecast shows that slight drop in temperatures Friday into the weekend into the low 70s. Could be a couple of sprinkles around heading into the day Sunday. And for Florence into the PD, it's a 7-day stretch of daytime temperatures in the 70s. Overnight temperatures way down in the 50s.
The day after a chaotic first presidential debate, the 2 candidates are back on the campaign trail. President Trump spoke tonight in Duluth, Minnesota, claiming his opponent, Joe Biden, is too weak to lead the country and is canceling the rest of the debates. Right before his departure, he spoke with reporters on the White House South Lawn, touting his performance. He also tried to clarify his comments on the group the Proud Boys, saying he doesn't know who the group is and they need to let law enforcement do their work. And the Biden campaign launching a train tour of Ohio and Pennsylvania. His focus is on the economy and working families. At one of his 6 stops today, Joe Biden spoke with reporters, calling Trump an embarrassment, suggesting rule changes ahead of the next debate to allow candidates to speak without interruptions. Incumbent Lindsey Graham and Democratic challenger Jamie Harrison will have their first debate this Saturday at Allen University in Columbia. I'm part of the panel, and I'll ask the questions that impact you right here in the Grand Strand. You can watch that right here on WMBF News Saturday night, beginning at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, the start of October, which many people know is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but the month is also dedicated to another cause, spreading awareness for sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS. WMBF's Zach Wilcox spoke with a mother who lost her child to SIDS 36 years ago and has dedicated her life to raising awareness.
When Letitia Estep lost her 4-month-old Jonathan unexpectedly one night in his sleep, she had no idea what the cause was, and doctors told her it was SIDS, which inherently in the name means the exact cause of death is unknown. Letitia founded a group called People for the Right to Know Why, who she says got the proclamation for National SIDS Awareness Month in October. She wants parents to educate themselves on the topic, which McLeod Health has also made the push for. McLeod Health received the Gold Safe Sleep Champion designation in 2018 for reinforcing the sleeping ABCs to new parents. A stands for alone, meaning babies should be alone when they sleep without parents, stuffed animals, or anything else that can obstruct their breathing. B stands for back, meaning babies should be on their backs rather than their stomachs or sides when they sleep. C stands for crib, meaning babies should sleep in a crib or flat environment rather than a bed with parents.
All I want, my last breath, is just public awareness, so another couple doesn't have to wake up and wonder what happened to their baby.
According to the Boston Children's Hospital, 2,300 babies die every year in the U.S. because of SIDS. In Horry County, Zach Wilcox, WMBF News.
Coming up next in sports, a battle of the big cats is our extra point game of the week. Sports director Dave McDonald has more on how Conway is preparing for a big region showdown against Carolina Forest.
Hey, welcome back in. Thanks for keeping it here for sports. From here on out, the Chants can't take their foot off the gas as they begin Sunbelt play on Saturday with a tough opponent coming to town in Arkansas State. All offseason, CCU has been focusing on the number 24, that amount being the total number of points that decided 5 games a season ago. Last season's meeting in Jonesboro was one of those games. The Red Wolves scored a touchdown with just 32 seconds left to defeat Coastal by 1 point. This week, the team is putting an emphasis on finishing so they can start conference play on a positive note.
It was a close game last year. You know, they beat us on the last drive. Like I said, that was just one of those games that 2 or 3 mistakes throughout the game could have changed the game for us. So, you know, as a team, we're just trying to eliminate those mistakes.
This week is going to be big. When you're playing a more talented team, that's really where that 24 comes in, and we've got to make sure we handle those details. And I like our team's mindset of that. I think they've bought into those things, and we got to continue to do those little things right. But if we do not, they have the capability of running us out of the stadium if we don't take care of those things. And so we've got to do a good job of that, but that'll be a big emphasis.
Dropping down to high school as we continue previewing our extra point game of the week between Conway and Carolina Forest. We normally don't see these two squads face off until later in the year, but due to the shortened season, we get to see these rivals duke it out in week 2. Last season, Carolina Forest won in a blowout to capture its first region crown in school history. Now, this is always one of the more heated rivalries in our area, and the Tigers feel they have plenty to prove come Friday.
It's real big. You got people talking from here, you got people talking from there. So it's a good experience every year to play against the Panthers.
They have the mentality that they're better than us, and we believe that we're better than them. So all I was going to say, we have to go out on the field, be able to show what we're going to do, because this isn't a team, an average team you say. I would say they're ranked around like 14 in the state, and they're there for a reason.
They don't do a whole lot on offense, but what they do it great. So we're going to have to put an extra piece of tape on, and if something's hurting, we have to tape an aspirin to it, and we just have to get down and dirty and try to do our best to compete.
And after years of campaigning, Darlington Raceway will host 2 Cup Series races in the 2021 season. WMBF News reporter Ian Klein joins us from the track Too Tough to Tame with more.
Yeah, very exciting news for NASCAR and, of course, Darlington Raceway. The iconic Southern 500 staying where it should be in September during Labor Day weekend. This additional race, much similar to what we saw as NASCAR made its return from the COVID-19 outbreak. It'll be held in May during Mother's Day weekend. Darlington Raceway has not hosted 2 scheduled races in the same calendar year for almost 15 years. It was a tradition that started in 1960, but that tradition ended in 2004. The NASCAR Cup Series also announced 3 new racetracks and new layouts at 2 iconic venues for the 2021 season, which includes the first Cup Series dirt race in more than 50 years. Not since 1969 has NASCAR added this many new venues to its 36-race schedule. Darlington Mayor Curtis Boyd says it's fantastic news, and we are more than pleased that the track Too Tough to Tame will host 2 races next year. We hope they will have it packed out, and we will give them our full support. We certainly look forward to those visitors coming into town. Here's what Darlington Raceway President Kerry Tharp, as well as South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster, had to say about this historic announcement.
You know, Darlington Raceway has a lot of history. It's a NASCAR tradition. And it's NASCAR's original super speedway with its famed 1.366-mile egg-shaped oval challenging the sport's best.
This is a renaissance for the Southern 500. It marks a great step forward. And as I was at Labor Day for that race in the arena, watching those cars driven by extraordinary people go around that track, it occurred to me that they were accelerating about as fast as we are here in South Carolina.
And of course, this is great news for race fans. The track Too Tough to Tame is always one of those iconic race tracks that every race fan wants to check off their bucket list. And now they'll have the opportunity to come back twice a year, again in May. And of course, the iconic Southern 500, which will be part of the NASCAR Playoff Cup Series come Labor Day weekend. Reporting from the track Too Tough to Tame in Darlington, Ian Klein, WMBF News.
Well, for many of you, something you have in your pocket is worth so much more than just a few cents. Ahead on WMBF News at 11, the unique passion a PD man has for these little pieces of history.
Take a quarter out of your pocket, your purse, or your car. Chances are that quarter has been around. Now imagine a coin that's been around for hundreds of years and is still here. It's part of the magic for coin collectors. Here's your This is Carolina good news from Florence. The value of a coin isn't the same. This quarter hasn't been made of silver since before 1965. It has 119 ridges. Unlike the penny, it has none. It's something coin collectors,
I just say chairman of the coin show.
like Pat Patton, could tell you about.
Well, I started collecting probably when I was 10 years old.
Because the value of the coin
Just, looking through pennies,
is different to different people.
trying to find those that had the little wheat things on the back. And then there was one really, really rare coin I needed for the penny book. Even back then in the late 60s, early 70s, that was a $300 coin. And I cut grass and I sold peanuts and I did all these, washed cars and did all these other things that young kids do to make money. And I bought that coin for $300.
Yes, a penny to Patton meant $300.
My daddy thought I had lost my cotton picking mind. He said, son, what are you doing? I kept it a while and then sold it for $350. And he said, well, I guess you know what you're doing.
It's how he's gotten to this coin collection today.
One of the first lessons I learned is don't ever clean a coin.
It's only part of it, all certified. Between the case walls, you find a little piece of history.
That's part of the allure to the whole thing, is what was going on when this coin was made. Who had that coin in their pocket? I mean, this half cent we talked about, George Washington could have had this in his pocket. And that's pretty amazing to me.
From back in the day when coins were really made of gold and silver. This coin, a half cent from 1793, when George Washington began his second term as president. It's the smallest amount ever minted.
My favorite coin is probably this one. This coin became available through a friend of mine, and I had just never ever seen a coin like that. That's a very rare $10 gold piece, minted in 1801, and it's got Lady Liberty on the front. I just think it's a gorgeous coin. It's got a lot of class to it. You don't see stuff like this anymore.
The $10 gold eagle coin carried like pocket change, but with half of this $10 coin, you could have bought a pair of high leather boots, a shawl, and mittens in 1801.
Of course, $10 back in the 1800s, early 1900s was a lot of money.
$10 in 1801 is equal to $204 today. One of Patton's other favorites includes a 2,000-year-old coin.
This could have been one of the 30 pieces of silver.
Patton says it could have been a coin referenced in the Bible.
Now, probably not. Okay, let me quickly say it's probably not one of the 30, but it could have been. It was made at the time when this could have been one of the 30 pieces of silver. And to hold a coin like that and realize the significance of it is pretty amazing.
An ancient Roman shekel, if only it could talk.
I have no idea how many miles it has on.
When you come see this collector of things with age, you can see things really do get better with time. Patton doesn't keep any coins at his house. If you want to see coins like Patton's and thousands more like it, or bring in your own coins to be checked out, you can do so at the PD Area Coin Show. With coronavirus precautions, it's Saturday, October 10th from 9 to 5 at the Florence Darlington Tech SIMT building. And don't forget, I always want to hear your good news. You can send me a Facebook message or email us at goodnews@WMBFnews.com. In the studio, I'm Myrtle Beach.
WMBF News today starts at 5 in the morning. Have a good night.